What is up gamers, M107 here, and as some of you might know, I made a video about the future of Metro franchise and it got over 14,000 views, which is quite a number for my channel, so I decided to make another video based on the comments of the previous one as a sign of appreciation, and here it is. Despite some dudes who wanted a Metro game similar to Ubisoft titles, the comments section was so rich that I decided to make a whole new video based on that. So first off, let's see what you guys wanted in general, and then we'll have some exceptionally bright ideas for the next Metro game. Before we get into the video, 4A Games, the studio behind Metro, is a Ukrainian studio. It was founded in Kiev and now they're facing war. I've heard one of them died during battle and they've already mentioned that they have a hard time developing the game because they're being bombed by Russia simultaneously. So I hope they're all well and safe and I wish them better days. With that said, let's jump right into the video. The hottest topic was creating a balance between underground and surface and how these two could be combined together to make the most of them. So the majority of people actually liked how surface worked in Metro Exodus, but they believed it was a bit overkill, which means we need to see more tunnels and close quarter combats. Now this doesn't mean surface gets removed or anything. Almost all of you guys want a semi-open world Metro, and that's really impossible without taking advantage of the potential that surface offers. I guess this comment, which is one of many, describes it perfectly. I honestly really like the surface focus. Admittedly, it was probably a little overkill, but it was cool. They could have balanced it out with some more underground segments. What I think would be really neat is if they stick to Moscow's or another city's surface, where there are plenty of buildings to slog it out through for those close quarter vibes, and there's still probably a Metro to skulk around it. Yeah, so this sums up everything perfectly. I believe buildings are going to be hands down a brilliant idea to make the surface richer and more convenient. There's also a controversial discussion on the multiplayer section for Metro, but from what I've seen in the comments, this is one of those things that you either love or hate. I personally think Metro doesn't need to go that far, and single player games can still survive out there. I must admit, nowadays the circumstances somehow force the developers to put some kind of multiplayer or co-op section in games against their will, but still, there are games like A Plague Tale or God of War that are single player and they absolutely rock. With all that said, some people do have a logical perspective on multiplayer for Metro based on looting and surviving. This discussion right here really says it all. So someone said, I like some of your ideas except for the multiplayer part. Metro just seems like a single player game. Another user replied saying GTA seemed like a single player as well, but when they added multiplayer, they made it better. That's why I said if it had multiplayer, it should be separated from campaign like in Call of Duty, for example. That kind of makes sense because we've never seen how the fans react to that, and maybe it turns out to be great. But I think the topic is going to remain a mystery until the day a new Metro game is announced, so best we can do is guess. Weapons and armor had been discussed a lot. Almost everyone agrees that Metro needs more weapons, like a hell of a lot more weapons, because honestly, there's no diversity. Some people also mentioned armor customization. Apparently, they want to be able to choose what they wear. Imagine if one outfit best suits underground, while the other has an advantage in areas with high radiation. Metro has so much potential, and having different weapons is just a small part of it. On the other hand, a few people like to see RPG elements, but it's just a few people, I promise. The majority are absolutely against RPG elements and they feel like it's going to ruin the game. I'm definitely on their team. I believe Metro must avoid becoming an RPG. It's a death trap that so many non-RPG games fell into and they never came out as successful and great as they were. So yeah, that's a no-go. There's also a concern about involving politics in Metro because it's something the developers have already mentioned. This is actually part of what they said. All the themes of Metro, conflict, power, politics, tyranny, and repression are now a part of our daily life, so we use them and weave them into the game with a new purpose. This is the most important thing for us at the moment. Now, Metro has always had politics involved in it. The ongoing war will certainly impact the game for obvious reasons, but the biggest concern here is keeping it balanced so it improves the new title. But I'm really curious to see how they're going to reflect their experience during the war, and I think if done correctly, it could be a real banger. That's everything you guys mentioned as general, and now let's get some of the ideas that really impressed me in the comment section. I don't know if I'm reading it correctly, but shout out to Villa for this comment. It goes like this. They can stay open world, but inside a Metro system, like on Fallout 3 where you could travel almost everywhere in the city by following the tunnels, as most lines would be connected through their pre-war platforms. Friendly, hostile, neutral, or infested lines. Service tunnels infested with mutants or by man-made caves to connect lines that come close but lost their previous connection due to a cave-in. So the open world exploration would be inside the Metro and you could go up at certain stations to visit important landmarks that contain weapons, items, quests, and people. Or go out to reach those other line systems that have no underground linkage. I really like this one, and I think it might just be the balance we're looking for between underground and surface. And this one also caught my eye. There should be a village where Artyom and the others from Aurora founded are destroyed at the end of Exodus, with Artyom being the leader of, and they are expanding it. The game opens up as you, the player, are a rookie Spartan from Moscow Metro that will go on missions on behalf of the village, sometimes with fellow Spartans, to fight mutants and hostile human factions searching for survivors, to expand your village and explore destroyed cities all across Russia, and also bigger mysterious main plot that you have to uncover to keep the village safe. Now, some Artyom lovers might hate me for this one, but it was a whole new idea. Gotta mention that some people argue that Artyom's story has come to an end and we need a new protagonist like Sam or Duke. Someone commented saying, imagine Sam going back to the post-apocalyptic US to find out what happened to his father. Yeah, this one could be a DLC maybe, but the idea is so good. I mean, being in the US in a Metro game is just mind-blowing. So that's it for today's video. I tried to cover up everything you guys were interested in. I've read every single comment, and if you think there's something missing or you got a new idea, make sure to comment it. It will always be appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Stay cool.